Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Deepaji Talks. Today we are going to talk about the famous composition Narayaneeyam and its author Melpattur Narayana Bhattathiri. It's very rare that one can miss this name if he or she is a devotee of Guruvayurappan. Such is the association of this great composition and its author with the Lord Guruvayurappan. So, the first thought that would come to you all would be, what is this Narayaneeyam about? Narayaneeyam is a condensed version of Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavat Purana written by Vedavyasa. So, why do you need a condensed version? Because Srimad Bhagavatam consists of 18,000 shlokas explaining in detail the origin and creation of universe, Lord Vishnu's incarnations to establish dharma, the rules of conduct governing one's life, the different paths to moksha, and many other matters. So undoubtedly, reading or understanding this great epic would be a mammoth task. But Bhattathiri's Narayaneeyam consists of just 1035 shlokas, which is just 5% in volume as compared to Srimad Bhagavatam. But still, it has all the essence and misses nothing. Isn't that a great achievement? So now you will ask me, why do I have to read or understand this composition, right? Okay, the Parayana or the recitation of Narayaneeyam is believed to provide both mental and physical healing process for the devotees. The Nitya Parayana or the daily recitation of Narayaneeyam will enable the devotees to attain Ayur Arogya Saukyam, meaning long, healthy living. Now you would like to know more about the composition, right? Okay, here we go. Let me start with the narration of the incidents that led to the creation of this wonderful poem. Melpattur Narayana Bhattathiri was born in 1560 in a pious Brahmin family as the son of Matrudattan Bhattathiri, who was a Pandit himself. Bhattathiri was a student of not only his father but various other eminent personalities of that time. He learned the Rig Vedam from Madhavacharya, Tarka Shastra, science of debate in Sanskrit, from Damodara Nambudiri, and Vyakarana, the Sanskrit grammar, from Achyuta Pisharadi. He became a Pandit by the age of 16. During this time, Achyuta Pisharadi fell victim to a severe attack of rheumatism and suffered unbearable pain. Bhattathiri, the devoted disciple, could not see the sufferings of his guru. Unable to see his guru's pain, and as a way of Guru Dakshina, Bhattathiri is said to have taken the disease upon himself by means of yogic strength. While Achyuta Pisharadi recovered from his ailment, the disease made young Bhattathiri a cripple. He then had himself carried to the temple of Guruvayur and lying prostrate before the Lord sought shelter and relief at the Lord's lotus feet. He sent his emissaries to Ramanujan Yettutachan, who was a renowned Malayalam scholar and composer of the Ramayana epic in Malayalam language, for advice on ways and means of getting a cure for his illness. The advice he received by word of mouth through his emissaries was to serve the Lord starting with fish. Yes, you heard that right. Yettutachan advised Bhattathiri to serve the Lord starting with fish. What? Serve fish for the Lord? How is that possible? That's what goes in our mind, right? But being a learned scholar, Bhattathiri understood the inner meaning of this advice and made a decision to write hymns describing the avatars of Vishnu, starting with fish or Matsya avatar. It is then he decided to take a sankalpam to write in a condensed form the entire voluminous Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhattathiri composed daily one dasakam, a group of 10 shlokams or verses approximately. Though with enthusiasm he completed the first two dasakams, that is 20 shlokas, his crippling disease prevented him from continuing. It is reported that his young brother, who was nursing him, helped him in writing the shlokas. From the third dasakam onwards, in each of the dasakam, Bhattathiri's prayer to God to cure his disease can be seen. It was believed that on the 100th day, when he wrote almost 1034 shlokams, when he wrote the last dasakam, Bhattathiri had a dazzling darshan of the Lord himself and thus was able to give a graphic head-to-foot description of the Lord's form as Venugopala and of his wonderful, soul-stirring and ecstatic experience. On 27th November 1587, when he finished the last dashakam, Ayur Arogya Saukyam Dasakam, he was completely cured. He was just 27 years old then. This immortal composition, Narayaneeyam, is so named for two reasons, as mentioned by the poet himself in the last dashakam. It is about Lord Narayana, and secondly because it was composed by Narayana Bhattathiri. There is another story saying that when Bhattathiri was about to finish his masterpiece Narayaneeyam, he pleaded to Lord Guruvayurappan to relieve him of his disease. Lord Guruvayurappan appeared before Bhattathiri and asked him to choose one of his hands, with one having the power to cure his disease while the other had Karunyam. Karunyam meaning mercy. Bhattathiri thought for a moment and chose the hand which had Karunyam. The reason behind his choice, which he later explained, was if we have Karunyam, we automatically get all the prosperity and well-being in our lives. Lord blessed him with Karunyam, which also cured Bhattathiri's disease. Other references prove that Bhattathiri lived a happy, healthy, long life of 86 years as prayed by him in his Narayaneeyam. One day, after returning from a temple, he collapsed and died instantly. Thus, he had a peaceful end as he wished. It is also believed that worship in Guruvayur temple is considered to be a sure remedy for all diseases. This might be the reason why Bhattathiri went to Guruvayur initially. Hope the story gives you a hope of curing your ailments with the blessings of Guruvayurappan. I will meet you again with another interesting story. Till then, thank you and bye from Deepa.